Stealing takes a lot of hard work and dedication. In order to be a professional thief, to actually be good at what you're doing, you have to have a certain level of mental skill. Like, you have to have skills. You have to be able to have observation skills. You have to be able to have the time. It takes time to steal and not get caught. And that's time I don't fucking have. That's time I don't have. The only time I even go downstairs is if I have a package. I don't have time to go downstairs watching packages and monitoring people's stuff just to steal it. Because at the end of the day, one thing you have to know, you have to open the package to make sure that the actual thing that you steal is something that you want. Otherwise, you're going to have a bunch of garbage in your apartment, or you're going to have a bunch of garbage sitting around that you don't even want or don't even need. So what's the point of going down? It takes time and dedication, to be honest, and that's something that I really do not have time to do. My actions have purpose. My actions have conversation. And I said what I needed to say, and I see a change being made. Every time I do something in this building, I see a response. And that's what I need. And that's what I want to happen. And I want people to get more serious about their jobs. I want people to be more serious about knowing the information they need to know in terms of respecting people's privacy, respecting people's space, respecting people's rights. Knowing the law is very important. Hiring someone, because I'm trying to warn you guys now that they're opening doors for people to live in luxurious buildings like this. You can't come downstairs and be like, oh, something unusual is happening. A lot of you guys, like, I had a conversation with an Asian lady yesterday, and I said, a lot of you guys are and we were talking, we saying there's a lot of people that have money that they don't have to be downstairs because their brain is trained to be, they're told to stay in the room, or they already got their money up, and they don't need to use the space to create content. Their apartment looks the way it needs to, or they're not content creators. So for me, I use this space wisely because my apartment doesn't look this nice. So why not come downstairs? And my apartment doesn't have the plug. It has plugs and stuff like that, but everything is not set up like an office where I can think properly. I can record without having like a big mess of a room on my YouTube. Like, image is not everything, but it's everything when it means a lot when you can create content in a clean environment, so your viewers can actually feel like, okay, the space is clean, the space looks nice. These tables were made to be used, right? If I own a company, these are the least of my worries. I don't want you to come to my office and tell me there is somebody in the lobby sitting down with their foot on the table because they're stretching. That's the least of my fucking worries. The important thing is that table is clean, right? When that person is done, that table is clean. That's why they hire a cleaner, right? At the end of the day, before you sit down, make sure that you just wipe down the table. Simple as that. You're not nobody's parent. And when you start becoming someone's parent, you start creating more work for yourself, right? When there is so much other work to do. Guys, it's very important to follow instructions, right? If I give you a job, if I give you a task to do something on the computer, and you're busy going in the lobby to harass a client that is actually paying rent to be here, and then all of a sudden your work is behind, all of a sudden you fail to do something, I know why you failed, because you were not focused on your work. You were busy focused on a client that actually lives here, on a resident that actually lives here. So do not allow other residents to distract you from your work. There is so much work that needs to be done in this building that we don't need that if it was my building, I'm like, I don't need a lawsuit to happen because you're careless. I need you guys to go above and beyond. Just because I pay you to be behind the desk, if the residents have to do more than just live here, then you have to do more than just live here. You understand that? That's what a contract is for. If all you're doing is signing leases and this and that, people are not moving in every single day. And it's not like you guys are going around promoting the company. You're just sitting behind the desk. So let's make sure that you're not sitting behind the desk doing nothing when there is so much work to do around this building. It's not the residents' job to do this work. It's your job to go do inventory, go check and make sure, and take notes on what needs to be fixed, so you can send these letters. So you could write a letter or notes to the company and say, hey, we need help with this. Can you help us with this? And if they don't listen, because it's probably because you're not talking to them right. It's probably because there's something you're not doing right. Like I said, in order for people to listen, you have to be doing something right. You have to be doing something that's soothing them personally, right? Because let's say if your boss is a guy and your boss is looking for a girlfriend and you're a girl that he might be attracted to, that he might be interested in, shaking a little booty. You can't do it of course you can't do it when you're at work, but maybe putting on a little lipstick, a little bit of eyelashes, you know what I mean? Something to make him feel a little better. I mean, that's the reasons behind me twerking and dancing. It always works. If I'm talking to guys, I always talk with a little bit of booty cheeks, with a little bit, just that's how guys are. Listen, guys have been flirting with me for the longest, and it's not a big deal. I appreciate the compliment as long as you don't rape me and touch me the wrong way. If I'm interested in you, I'll let you know. But I'm always a flirt, and that's the way I get things done. That's how I got off the street. That's how I survived on the street. And so you got to use every skill that you have. You know what I mean? And when guys try to flirt with me, I don't try to act like I'm better than them, because I can use them for something. You never know when you need somebody. So I try, and that doesn't mean approach people and ask for sex unless you guys are dating or something like that, because I know I've seen security guards that, like I talked to the guy, there's a security guard, not here in this building, a security guard in Miami, Florida, that literally, like, I was homeless, and because I needed a place to stay, he let me sleep in the lobby or whatever, but then he asked me to jack him off or give him a blowjob or something. Guys, please don't do this. Please don't do that. It's so unprofessional and it's so embarrassing, and that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. It was a Spanish guy. Come on, I could have easily asked for his name, and I could have recorded it, and I could have taken that shit to court as sexual harassment. I'm serious. Because I didn't want to do that. But I wasn't going to be an asshole. But so there are assholes out there. Like, it's not being an asshole. If you are on the clock in uniform working with somebody's business, do not do that in uniform. Do not do it on your own time, and the police will deal with you. But don't go to a company and start sexually harassing the homeless or anybody and telling them, I want to have sex with you. Unless you're off of the clock, that's different. But if you're on the clock, still be careful. You always have to be respectful. But, asking someone for sex or whatever, to me, is not a big deal as long as you're not harassing them, right? But as long as you're like, hey, mama, to me, procuring is not a big deal as long as you're respecting somebody and you're doing it to the prostitutes. Prostitution is not even illegal to me. To me, I'm like, when men don't have a wife or a husband, it's their human right to have a companion to help fulfill their needs. But if you get hired in a uniform as a security guard, please, for your own sake and the sake of the company, do not ask a homeless person around the corner to give you a blowjob, no matter how pretty she is. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Do not ask. Maybe if you're flirting with someone that lives in the building and you guys like each other, that's between you guys, right? But just don't harass them. Don't harass them for sex. Don't harass them. If you see somebody that you like and you're flirting with them, flirt with them like a man. Be respectful. If they say no, leave them alone. That's it. But we don't want you to focus on that. We want you to focus on your job unless somebody comes to talk to you. Then that's different. Now, as far as the homeless, leave them there. Leave them.